Chapter 8. No, this way the videos can be, or the Chaim, exactly. It's a different date. Chaim. Okay, so in the last chapter, Alter Rebbe ends it off with a little bit of a harsh tone, right? But let's talk about, day to day. Because, listen, we have to know there are consequences for our actions. So if a person's doing something that's irrevocable, then what are you going to do? Now, what happens now if a person does something, let's say he eats something he's not supposed to. And let's say he eats something you're not supposed to, even he didn't know. Or you eat something you're not supposed to with noble intentions. I'm going to take this food that's not kosher, but I've decided I'm going to serve God with not kosher food. Because I want to elevate I want to elevate what is impure.
Kiddush with a non-kosher one.
Okay, that's a perfect example. So now the Alter Rebbe is going to explain in Tanya why that's a bad idea. Now think about it. Doesn't God want us to elevate the physical world? Doesn't God want us to make the world a better place? So wouldn't it make sense for me to take not kosher food or not kosher wine and make a bracha on it and learn Torah with it and elevate it? Doesn't that make sense? I mean, no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
in a way, if your kavanah is positive, to do it as a mitzvah.
So this goes back to what we said in chapter 7. Chapter 7, we said there are 3 categories. There's what's holy, I don't care what your kavanah is. There's what's unholy, and I don't care what your kavanah is. And then there's what's up to you. Huh?
Yeah.
There's everything else. So it means when you do something forbidden, remember we told the story of last week of the Baal Shem Tov, the guy with the wallet who took the money? When you do something wrong, give you all the right intentions, it cannot be elevated. So you can say that doesn't make sense, okay, but you don't make the rules. God decides that I like this, I don't like that. Remember that story I told you, the example I gave you about the bus driver? Remember that example? All right, I'll say it again. My 7th grade teacher gave me this example. I remember it till today. Rabbi Shalom Beravson. An example he gave is he says there's a bus driver his job. You guys are old enough to remember bus drivers. A city bus. His job is to go up and down 2nd Avenue, right, on the east side of Manhattan. Now his friend drives up 5th Avenue. And his friend would come back every day, and the money box was stuffed. And he would come back because he's driving on 2nd Avenue, empty. And he felt bad because he wanted to make his boss a lot more money. So what did he do? He decides that he's going to drive up 2nd Avenue, and he comes back up 5th Avenue. He comes back the day he drives up 5th Avenue, and he says, "Boss, I brought you a whole money box full of money." The boss says, "Thank you very much, but you're fired." Because I don't understand. I brought you back money. So I understand you want to bring back money. But you have to ask yourself, what do I want from you? So this is the mistake that stories, people in the Torah, and we today make. Some people say, "Oh, I serve God with my heart." Or I'll ask someone to do something, right? Let's say put on tefillin. "Oh, God understands." No. If God is very explicit that this is what He wants and this is what He doesn't want, don't try to squeeze your way out of it. Either you're doing it or you're not doing it. So if God says this food is bad, it's bad, and nothing you can do can make it good. That's why we use the word asur. Asur does not mean forbidden. Like kosher doesn't mean the lady who works in the office now. I was telling someone dropped off a bunch of different Judaica. So I said, that's a kosher menorah. That's not a kosher menorah. Because the menorah has to be level and in a row. And one of the menorahs were like this, and one was, right? She's like, kosher. You guys eat menorahs? So I said, no. Okay, kosher means it's fit. Right? Asur does not mean forbidden. Asur means tied down. Which means God decides this is bad. No matter what you do, you can have all the right intentions. Therefore, let's say you do something bad and you didn't know. Is it still bad? let's say a person ate not kosher. They didn't realize it was not kosher. Did they do something bad?
No.
Yes. They ate not kosher. Now,
But wait, this person will never be made aware of the fact that he did it?
doesn't make a difference.
No, I'm asking if it's sort of like the proverbial tree in the forest.
Again?
The proverbial tree in the forest. You hear it if it doesn't make a sound.
Or,
If a tree falls
So
in the
it's right.
forest and nobody's there to hear it, it
Time
makes
he
sense.
eats.
yes, obviously.
If Moshe eats something and it had a little bit of cheese and this cheese in it and his meat, I don't know,
Right.
salami sandwich. Never
There is
knew
a
about
test.
it.
There is a test of how much.
No,
I
I'm
want to
just-
stick to it.
He has,
Forbidden, right?
It's more than what's allowed.
Right.
But he never finds out about it, and no one ever knows about it, and the entire thing was just itself an accident.
Right.
What is that? Is that equal to anything else?
So,
Or is that less?
I think we said this in a few classes ago. Many times we confuse the act and how to rectify the teshuvah. That means if someone does an avera unwittingly, doesn't know, so when he comes back up, because again, you have to look at your soul as a car, as a rental car. That's exactly what it is. You come back and let's say someone,
Your body is the rental car, not the soul.
the soul's a rental car.
Soul is the rental car.
Soul's a rental car. Your body doesn't belong to you, period.
Period.
No, really. Yeah. I actually, by the way, was I
You have to return it in a way.
well, you're not allowed to damage it. It's not yours. It doesn't belong to you. It's like your body is like your soul. Is a subcontractor, and your contractor is giving you the tools. You can't do with those tools whatever you want. They belong to the contractor. Your body is a tool. You
Yes,
cannot.
but returning the soul the same way.
Hold on. No, hold on.
Okay.
One
Like
second.
a car rental.
So if you return that car and it has a scratch, and let's say you didn't know it was parked, you had no idea, right? You ever go to New York? They have all these pads on the sides of the cars, right? The car rental says, "Okay, I didn't say you're a bad guy, but the car has a scratch." So many times we confuse the rectification for the act and the motivation. The rectification is based on a motivation. So obviously, if someone eats not kosher unwittingly, then the rectification is going to be a lot less severe than if he did it knowingly. But he ate not kosher. That blemish is on the Hebrew is pagam. The blemish is on his soul. There's nothing you can do about it.
But one second, if you don't mind, we all went through something that hurt our soul in some way
What do you mean?
on October 7th, right? Like it affected our soul in a certain way.
Right.
We all got hit.
What?
So
Yeah.
the damage that happens to the soul, this is not in my control. This is not in my
You're
control.
associating that with like.
No, I think it's two different things. Now-
It's like a similar example with a tree falling in the forest. There is
No, what I meant is that if a person is eating none of us ate October 7th. If you eat a sandwich that has cheese in it.
No, I understand that, but I'm going back to try to understand what's behind returning the neshama the same way we received it.
Because
You
again,
fill up the gas tank. It's a full, like gas.
no. So God gives it to you on empty, and you need to bring it back on full. That, in this week's Torah portion, it says Avram was old and he ba bayamim, coming in his days. What does that mean? It means Avram was able to account for every day. There wasn't a day that was wasted. That's Avram. Now you know.
Yeah, I read it.
Avram was like, now you know why he's Avram.
Shlamut.
Every day Avram was able to,
Perfect.
didn't waste a day. Every day. Man,
Not even one moment.
not one moment. That's Avram. Now you know why he's Avram. He's not just a dude. He's Avram. But you're mixing up two things over here. Hashem gives you a neshama, okay, and He gives you the diet for the neshama. You have to think of your neshama as a fine-tuned athlete, right? Think of
Fine-tuned
athlete. Think of Tom Brady, right? Why do you think he made it so far? Because he took here, huh?
Deflated balls.
Exactly. And Eric hasn't said a thing in 3 classes. Right? What? Unbelievable. I love you. I love you, Eric. Yeah, me too. Anyway. No, but as much as they hate the Patriots, and as much as they hate Tom Brady for winning all the time, you gotta admire the guy played forever. But why? Because he took care of his body. He didn't put, even in the off season, the guy took care of his body 24/7. His body was his source of income, whatever it is. The guy didn't eat hamburgers. He was religious about his body.
A better example is LeBron James. He has like a part of his contract is that there's a few million that are dedicated to his health every year that are spent on keeping him in peak.
Right, but I think LeBron James got it from Tom Brady. Tom Brady was no. Tom Brady was the first one to. Used to be that in the off season, you do whatever you want. You have a month or two of just messing around, and when it comes time to training camp, all right, time to do push-ups. The idea of your body is your temple, so to speak. But this is what the soul is. God says this is your soul. You want it to be in perfect working order. You put kosher food inside. That's the way you're gonna put. As much as you.
No, I understand. I understand where my mistake is because you guys you're specifically speaking about what you put inside your body.
Because your body.
In this example, but the whole car with the scratch it took me to.
No, I'm saying, but
things that happen not in your control.
So something.
You get that?
Right. No, but sometimes things happen that shake us and make us and make us have a different realization. Different perspective than we had before. So, for example, I don't know if Hamas was planning on this or not, but I don't know if they were thinking that the Jewish people are divided, but the Jewish people have not had unity like this in 50, 60 years. All the Jews, except for some wackos, they're always wackos. I mean, even in the story of Hanukkah, even in the story of the Exodus, there were Jews that were against the Jews. It's always happened. The story of Purim, it's always happened. So, but the Jewish people are banded together. Why? Because we realized what our true root is. Our true root is the soul, and we realize we're connected by soul. That's why people are demonstrating against the Jews. Why do they want to kill you here, wherever they are? Why? You bother them? I was telling somebody, my father's from Montreal, my mother's from New York. I did anything to you? I don't know. My parents are probably all made in China or Bangladesh or something else. What's your problem? I did something wrong to you. Let's say Israel stole your land. I like that joke. A Jew's reading a newspaper on the bench. A guy says, all the world's problems are because of the Jews. The Jew says, don't forget the dentist. So the dentist? Why the dentist? I don't know. Why the Jews? But think about it. It doesn't make sense. Why? Because all Jews are connected by their soul. We're all one family. They know it. And really, we know it too. That's the idea. So when we put some things in our body that don't allow us to function properly, you can have all the right intentions, right? You can think, sometimes in the Department of Health say you should eat this. After a while, don't eat that. Jackie Mason had a whole bit about eat eggs. No, don't eat eggs. Eat meat. Don't eat meat. A whole thing. Drink milk. Don't drink milk. Right? So.
Drink coffee. Don't drink coffee.
Right? Everyone, lard, right? Spam, right? All these. You could be doing the wrong thing for all the right reasons. You're still doing the wrong thing, right? So now the difference is, how do you rectify it? So when the energy is invested in something wrong, it's a lot harder to elevate it. Now, if you did something right, but for the wrong reason, right? You ate, but you didn't eat to be productive. You ate just to be nice. Okay, so I'm eating, but I got to eat right. Right? I'm eating okay, but I got to eat right. I got to watch my portion control. It's a lot easier to connect. Okay, so let's because we're officially this is the beginning of chapter 8. Let's at least begin. Okay, chapter 8. In addition, with forbidden foods. So this is why they're called forbidden. Even if someone ate food without knowing, l'shem shemayim, and he did it for the right reasons, right? He thinks it's kosher, right? Ira, you were here. We had a skier. With the dough we buy from Walmart, always had a chaf K. It's always in the same place. My wife was showing Larry and Barbara the dough. All of a sudden, we couldn't find the hechsher. They moved it. It's like in the back behind the plastic. We thought, oh shoot, we just ate not kosher, right? Let's say you ate it for all the right reasons, but it doesn't make a difference. To serve a God with the power of this food, the gam polvas. Okay, not only the intent was there, the action was there. He actually served God with this energy. V'karda, he learned, v'yispalel, he daven, v'koyach achila, he with the power derived from this food. So the vitality, the energy that's contained inside the food does not elevated. Cannot be not elevated in the Torah. That means when you use that energy, when you use that cookie, that beer, right, the sandwich to learn Torah, that energy that's in the sandwich is not in the Torah because it's not. You see, Judaism doesn't look at the world fragmented. You know, there's Torah and there's you. Judaism looks at the world as all streamlined. When you utilize your energy to learn Torah, to everything you've done, your sleep, your house, your clothing, your food, everything is incorporated. It leads up to that moment. So when you give tzedakah, for example, you do something, it's all of you giving tzedakah. So it's a mipnei why? Why can't it be elevated? Because because by divine decree, God said that this animal, it's either not kosher animal or because it wasn't slaughtered properly, it can't be elevated. So you can do whatever you want. So you can't dictate what is a holy act. Right? Let's say, for example, the rabbis talk about this. Let's say, for example, a talit has 4 corners. Let's say you want to be extra religious. 5 corners. 8, 5, 6, or 3. Right? 4, I don't know, 4. Or 7's my lucky number.
Just go full French.
Huh?
The whole thing.
Whole thing, exactly.
Just corners.
Just corners. I like it, guys. Is anyone writing these ideas down?
I'd rather have a circle. It's never ending.
So if you want to,
putting it on the right way it is.
exactly. By the way, if it's a circle, it doesn't need tzitzit. Only
Excuse me,
a corner.
Rabbi, where's the complaint box?
Exactly. So why isn't it holy? Because that's not what God wants. You could try to be extra holy. Not only does it make it holy, it actually makes it worse. In the Torah, we find in the book of Deuteronomy, Pashat V'etzchan, chapter 5 or 6, it says you can't take away from the Torah and you can't add. Because you think trying to be extra religious is good. No, it's actually worse. We find that in the book of Bereshit. Right? Chava tells the snake, God said, don't eat from the tree and don't touch the tree. God never said don't touch the tree. Once you try to be extra religious, what happened? Well, we know they had apple pie. Right? That's the.
So why is it that only Hillel enacted the idea of not eating chicken with cheese? Up until then, it was okay.
No, it wasn't okay. Oh, no, okay, sorry. Up until then, it talks about. I think it was before Hillel. They decreed it.
No, it was Hillel.
It was Hillel? I thought it was earlier. I thought it was Anshe Knesset Hillel. Okay. So the reason is because it's explained that the people, the Jewish people, were on a higher spiritual level. That means godliness and anti-godliness was more absolute. So the whole reason why you can't mix chicken with cheese is because it might lead to something else. One thing might lead to the other. But in the Second Temple times, people started being susceptible to be brought in, reeled in by extraneous forces.
The whole thing is based on that mixing meat with, like the meat
Milk.
of an animal that produces milk. Basically, mammals.
Meat and milk. It's meat and milk. The kid in the mother's milk is just
Not exactly.
Exactly.
Fish meat is allowed.
It's not called meat. It's not called basar dog. It's not called meat.
King Solomon was okay with eating a chicken parmesan sandwich.
So I'm telling you. So I'm telling you, it's because it's explained that the people prior to the destruction of the first temple were on a higher spiritual plane. They didn't need as many rabbinical fences.
So you're saying you're going above. You have to go a little bit above. Not too much.
What?
So we went a little above what we were supposed to.
The rabbis went a little bit crazy in the second temple, right?
I didn't say that.
Yeah. Every rabbi's trying to outlaw the rabbi, right?
But I actually just heard Rabbi Manis Friedman talking about the fact that like why didn't we add more mitzvot was because we're the same as 3,000 years ago. We were doing the same avarot.
I mean, we don't have more mitzvot, the same amount of mitzvot.
We say have the same.
Yeah, that's his point.
That's
Yeah.
the
Oh,
point.
I thought you said we have more.
We haven't added
Right.
because people haven't added more avarot. It's the
Yeah,
same
but
thing
the idea that we are so much worse than our forefathers,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily true. First of all, it's always been. Second of all, I mean, you can call us terrible and everything else, but I mean, you take a Jew from back then, put them now, where they survive 5 minutes.
Maybe not.
No, I mean, the Jews, the fact that Jews are observant today, with the total lack of Jewish leadership, I mean, it's something short of a miracle. Before World War II, for example, there were great men and leaders and tzaddikim and spiritual giants. And now, who are you learning from? You're learning from a bum like me. 60 years ago, I'd be the guy standing in the back of the show. So and now you guys are really. Now we really need Mashiach to come because
Really lucky.
yeah, because if I'm a rabbi, if I'm your rabbi giving you classes, then times are bad, and we really need Mashiach's help because yeah. Anyway, so we'll just is it? No, I wish Mashiach. Right? I wish. We can hear. Let's just learn one line in 126, and it says not only biblical prohibitions, but even rabbinical prohibitions. Once they're forbidden, they're forbidden. You can't say it's only rabbinical. No. Once it's forbidden, it's forbidden, and in a lot of ways, it's worse than biblical. So we'll stop over here. So once God says it's no good, it's no good. You can have all the right motivations, but sorry, boss. If God says, I don't want it, then, I don't want it. But think of it like penicillin. It's a wonderful drug. I'm allergic, but it's a wonderful drug. Okay. You're allergic. Exactly. So God says, you're also allergic? So God says, I don't want it. But you have all the right motivation. Thank you very much. Not welcome here. All right, guys, we'll postpone for now.